Zlatan Ibrahimovic's time at Barcelona is often labeled a failure, a mismatch, an expensive experiment gone wrong. But that chapter doesn't define him. In fact, it might have fueled his rise to something far greater, becoming a football legend who defied logic, shattered norms, and bent the game to his will. But how did it happen? How did a player rejected by Barcelona become one of the most unforgettable strikers the sport has ever seen? Let's find out. Zlatan's journey started on the streets of Rosengård, Sweden, a working-class immigrant neighborhood where dreams were hard-earned. His family struggled. His father was a Bosnian Muslim, his mother a Croatian Catholic. The household was broken, the money was tight, and violence was never far away. But Zlatan had something most kids didn't: a fire, a belief so unshakable it bordered on arrogance. While others bent to the system, he broke it. He wasn't just playing football, he was sculpting a future with every touch of the ball. By the time he was a teenager, he was already making waves in Malmö's youth system. Raw, temperamental, uncoachable to some, but brilliant, and he knew it. At 19, he signed for Ajax. That's where the world got its first real glimpse of Zlatan. He danced through defenders, scored solo goals that felt like video game glitches, and made arrogance look like a superpower. But Zlatan wasn't content with just showing flair. He wanted domination. A move to Juventus in 2004 brought him into the heart of Italian football. He won back-to-back Serie A titles, though they'd later be stripped due to the Calciopoli scandal. Then came Inter Milan, where under Roberto Mancini and then Jose Mourinho, Zlatan hit new levels. 3 more Serie A titles, back heels, bicycle kicks, and a ridiculous 25-yard volley against Bologna. He was unstoppable, and he knew it. By 2009, Barcelona came calling. The price? 46 million euros plus Samuel Eto'o. It was one of the most expensive and controversial deals in football history. Pep Guardiola had a vision, a striker with strength, skill, and flair to complement Messi and rewrite football history. Zlatan looked perfect. And at first it was working. In his first 5 La Liga games, Zlatan scored 5 goals. He looked like a cheat code. His presence gave Barcelona a new edge. But beneath the surface, something was cracking. Zlatan wasn't just a player, he was a personality. And Pep wanted silence. He wanted players who fit into the system, not ones that bent it. Zlatan was loud, demanding, unafraid to call out what didn't work. And at Barcelona, that was a problem. His chemistry with Messi was icy, his relationship with Guardiola non-existent by the end. Zlatan would later say, "You bought a Ferrari but drove it like a Fiat." That quote said it all. Despite scoring 22 goals in his debut season, he was sidelined, isolated, written off. In 2010, just 1 year after arriving, Zlatan left, a failed signing, a superstar who didn't belong. But for Zlatan, Barcelona wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of something more powerful, a redemption arc that would turn him into an icon. He returned to Milan, this time to AC Milan. The doubters were waiting. Zlatan shut them up. In his first season, he led them to a Scudetto. He scored goals, assisted teammates, and led with a swagger Milan hadn't seen in years. After 2 seasons, he moved to Paris. PSG was building something big, and Zlatan was the cornerstone. In France, he became a god. 4 league titles, 156 goals in 180 games. Ridiculous goals, volleyed screamers, Rabonas, bicycles. A 4-goal masterclass against England with that famous 30-yard overhead kick. That night, the world stopped. Ibrahimović was no longer just a great striker. He was a global phenomenon. He moved to Manchester United at 35. Critics called it a PR stunt. He called it a challenge. He scored 28 goals in his first season, led Manchester United to a Europa League title, and silenced everyone who thought he was finished. Even after tearing his ACL, he returned, then moved to the MLS. And guess what? Still unstoppable. When most players retire quietly, Zlatan returned to AC Milan at age 38. He wasn't a nostalgia act, he was still elite. He led by example, scored crucial goals, and guided a new generation. In 2022, Milan won their first Serie A title in 11 years. Zlatan lifted the trophy, older, wiser, and still fierce. Throughout his career, he played for Ajax, Juventus, Inter, Barcelona, Milan, PSG, United, LA Galaxy, and then back to Milan. Everywhere he went, he left his mark. He scored over 570 goals, won more than 30 trophies, and left behind a legacy powered by belief, talent, and an unapologetic refusal to be anyone but himself. Zlatan didn't just defy the system, he redefined what greatness could look like. A failed Barcelona signing? Maybe. But a global football legend? Undeniably.